Greetings everyone and welcome to this video. In this video I will try to condense as much information as I can, so you will be able to get started as soon as possible. Keep in mind I'm not a pro in this game, and the majority of video footage with salvage from other tutorial videos. Also keep in mind that because of this some things may not be accurate, so take it with a grain of salt. Also note everything that's being said in this video has been converted into text. For easy translation can be found in the video description. Let's move on. Just like last season, we need to make sure we get a head start. The majority of this season is similar to season 2 with some additional features. However, the majority is still identical, the only difference is a different skin. Before we continue, everything that I'm about to say is my opinion and advice. It will be your choice to follow it or ignore it, and I will not be held responsible for your choices. Consider it carefully and choose your own path. The first thing you need to consider is to upgrade your water wells, also known as alloyed factories, in Season 2. I assume it will be the same like last season, upgraded to level 15 and move on to the second building. You will need the resources to upgrade the facility, which will give you more resistance, which is required to capture territory. The faster you can upgrade, the better. I would also highly recommend to go engineer for this specific task. Engineers have specific abilities to reduce the amount of resources required to upgrade, which is extremely useful due to the limited amount of resources you can get. This will give you a significant advantage to upgrade faster. That roughly concludes the buildings. Let's move on. Also recommend to have a lot of energy. This is crucial to progress faster. For each first blood kill of a level zombie or monster will give you additional resources, which will help you progress faster. You will be able to join other people's rallies and get some rewards and resources with a maximum number of 20 times. After that number you will no longer be able to get resources if you join another. However, if you are the host you will still get the resources regardless if you've done it 20 times or not. Killing beasts, bosses, there's a chance they may drop a loot crate just like last season. Keep in mind this is not always guaranteed, but it will help out. On top of that, it will also level up your profession. You will probably get recruitment tickets which can be used to recruit heroes and obtain additional resources. Keep in mind these are separate recruitment tickets and should be used as soon as you have a stack of 10. Due to the additional resources you can obtain, the more resources you have the faster you can upgrade, which will give you a huge advantage. Just like last season, this is a race. The faster you can upgrade, the better you are off later on. Let's move on. Capturing territories require resistance. The higher resistance you have, the better. Everything before the slash is what you have. Everything behind the slash is the requirement. For low levels it is possible to brute force. However, keep in mind it will cost you soldiers. The higher level there, the more damage you will receive, and the margin of brute force will significantly decrease. Regardless, brute forcing will cost you severely depending on what level you go at. So be extremely careful not to overdo it. Recommend to only do what you're capable of doing. However, there is a way for you to get boosted. The way that this works is that you need to have a teammate that does have the resistance. If the teammate has the resistance for it, he will carry you. However, you will have to inform the teammate that is going to boost you. And if you're going to get boosted, remove all your heroes except for one low-level hero. This will save you a lot of soldiers being wasted. This way you may still get the rewards, however you will be the one that has to host it. That's why we highly recommend informing your teammates, ask for a boost and see who's available. Once you have confirmed that you will have a teammate that is willing to boost you, start the host and wait for your teammate to join. As mentioned before, you have to announce that you want a boost to prevent other people from losing their soldiers. This is very important, so keep that in mind. Let's move on. Once a territory is captured, it should turn green. However, you may notice some sandy parts in the green territory. From what I understand, there might be some treasure buried below. It will cost you 10 energy and a plane to discover it. Once it's discovered, it will turn green. You can also see how many treasures that are still buried within the territory by clicking on the territory building. Once all the treasures have been discovered, I would not recommend wasting any more energy. Some territories contain specific buildings. As far as the trading post or the market building is concerned, I do not have that much information on it. From what I understand, this will be an individual battle, and whoever is able to hold it for the longest will be the owner of it. Consider it something similar to the Desert Storm. From what I've heard, you should be able to trade resources. However, I cannot confirm this, I do not have enough information on this, due to it is pretty new and the majority of people are still trying to figure it out. So I'm afraid I won't be able to help you on this specific matter. Let's move on. Just like last season, instead of temperatures we will have soldiers. Once you lose a couple of soldiers, your allies will be able to help you out. They can send a scout plane to convert your soldiers into protectors. From what I understand, unfortunately, I do not have that much information about this. However, I think it's similar to the temperature mechanic that people can send the plane to warm you up. And in this particular one, it will resurrect the soldiers and convert them into protectors. Again, I am not certain if this is indeed the case, but you should be able to consider this a possible outcome. Unfortunately, I am not sure what these units are specifically used for, so you will have to figure it out on your own. However, I assume you should be able to select which units you're going to use. Or which units are being used. If you're able to choose, I would recommend to use the desert protectors first, since they are already dead from my understanding. That's all the information I have regarding that topic. Let's move on. Donating is extremely important, however, you need to consider a good balance. Don't overdo it because you were required the same resources for yourself. Donating will help out everyone, therefore recommend you do it, but again try to find a good balance. Also recommend not to spend too many diamonds. From what I'm seeing, the payback is simply not worth it to be in the first place. But that's just my opinion. Let's move on. From this point you basically know all you need to know for the basics. For additional boost, here are a couple of recommendations. 1. Getting the weekly pass. This will significantly help you, and especially in the first 2 weeks it will give you a huge boost in resources. And is highly recommended. First 2 weeks are crucial and should not be underestimated. However, keep in mind this will cost you real life money, and you should consider this option carefully. 2. Getting the event pass. This will benefit you with resources during the entire event. Again, keep in mind this will cost you real money and should be considered carefully. -3. Getting VIP monthly pass. This is totally up to you, it will help you with some additional units, however. It can also drain your soldiers' supplies significantly if you're not careful. It will also provide you with some additional energy every day. It might be wise to consider. But again, this will cost you real money and should also be considered carefully. After 2 weeks you should be able to stand on your own feet. And the weekly pass is no longer needed. And you can choose to leave it or keep going. But by now you should be fully upgraded if you do it properly. Again, being engineer may help in this process as well. That concludes the basics for the time being. From this point I'm no longer able to assist due to the lack of information. I hope this is enough information to get you started. I have also included a map so you can see how it looks like. I would highly recommend to follow the instructions of your leaders, because tactics and strategies will be adapted regarding on the situation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, however I cannot guarantee if I will be able to help you. I have done my best to share what I've known so far. I wish you all the best of luck. And I will probably see you on the battleground. Good luck and have fun.